Hi there. Later, a rainbow flag story to warm the cockles of your heart. First though, America's Supreme Court hears a very significant case this week on gender-affirming care for transgender young people. It's come about because of a ban in Tennessee, and there are similar restrictions across the US. A lawsuit argues this violates equality protections in the US Constitution.
If you take, for example, a transgender adolescent boy, he cannot receive testosterone to live consistent with his male identity because he was assigned female at birth. Had he been assigned male at birth, he could receive that same medication for that same purpose. That is sex discrimination.
Chase Strangio speaking to Democracy Now! He'll become the first out trans lawyer to argue at the Supreme Court, making the case for the ban to be struck down. This will affect access to gender-affirming care across America for years to come. Poland wants to give LGBTQ+ people more protection against hate speech. The government's approved a plan to update the current laws to include sexual orientation and gender. Age and disability will also be covered by the beefed-up hate crime legislation. The changes follow criticism from the UN's Human Rights Council. And a woman's been left a message by a neighbour she barely knows about the rainbow American flag she flies outside her home. Uh-oh, thought Angela from New York State. Here it comes. But no, the neighbour said they like the colour the flag brings to the neighbourhood and left a brand new replacement. Because honestly, Angie's was looking a wee bit tatty, needs to lift her game. But that's nice though, isn't it? Hey, a lovely gesture. No time to tell you that. Transfolk the series has launched on YouTube about a group of transgender friends navigating life, loss and love. There's a link in the podcast description. Hi there. Pride Daily's kicking off a series of specials on LGBTQ+ firsts. Later, lesbians on the march. We'll start though with April Ashley, the first openly transgender model. She was born in 1935 in Liverpool in the UK and had gender reassignment surgery in 1960. April's successful modelling career saw her featured in Vogue magazine, but it was cut short when a newspaper outed her. She told the BBC, with a bit of courage, it is possible to be authentic.
You can be who you want to be. Do it with joy, be happy and never give in and be terribly brave, because that's what it takes.
April was awarded the MBE in 2012 for services to transgender equality. She died at the age of 86 in 2021. Denmark was the first country to legally recognise same-sex unions. Axel and Eigil Axgill got what was known as a registered partnership in 1989, which gave queer couples nearly all the same rights as straight ones. They tied the knot at Copenhagen Town Hall, having already been together for 40 years. And the first official Dyke March took place in Washington, D.C. in 1993. It was organised by an activist group called Lesbian Avengers to increase visibility of gay women and push back against homophobia. We think about 20,000 people turned out, and it's led to more Dyke Marches across America and around the world. Hi there, it's day 2 in our series of LGBTQ+ firsts. Later, the first drag queen in England. Let's begin though with Same Love from Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, the first top 40 song in America to celebrate same-sex marriage. This was written in the lead-up to a referendum in Washington state in 2012 to legalise these unions. The song was also a response to hearing a teenager had killed himself because of his sexuality. Macklemore told Fox 13 Seattle there's a personal connection as well.
2 of my uncles were gay. My godfather was gay. And it was something that I was constantly around as a kid, seeing a committed gay relationship, yet not being able to be married by law.
Same-sex marriage has been legal across America since 2015. Next, the first cemetery for lesbians, which opened in Berlin in 2014. The thinking was it would help increase lesbian visibility and allow them to live together in the afterlife. There are 80 plots within the Lutheran Georgian parochial cemetery in central Berlin. And back to the 1700s for Princess Seraphina, considered to be England's first drag queen. She was the alter ego of John Cooper, a gay gentleman's servant, not a euphemism, who would roam the streets of London in women's clothes. This at a time when being homosexual carried the death penalty. After she was robbed, witnesses in the subsequent trial referred to her as Seraphina and Her Highness. Hi there. Our Pride Daily specials on LGBTQ+ firsts continue. Later, the first non-binary character in a Pixar film. We'll start though with the first Pride event in Australia, Sydney's gay and lesbian Mardi Gras in 1978. Homosexuality was still illegal then, and a violent response from police led to riots. It's seen as an important milestone for LGBTQ+ civil rights there. Peter Murphy was one of 53 people arrested at the first Mardi Gras, but he tells ABC News Australia, ultimately, the event led to a change in the law.
Many more people were arrested in the following weeks, but in 1984, consenting sexual acts between adult males was decriminalised, and the energy for it really blew out of the first Mardi Gras.
And Sydney Mardi Gras was first broadcast on TV in Australia in 1995. Next, the first out transgender manager of a football club. Lucy Clark's in charge of Sutton United's women's team in the UK, and before that, she was the English Football Association's first out trans referee. She credits football with saving her life when she was really struggling with a gender identity. And Pixar's first non-binary character was Lake Ripple in the film Elemental. It's set in Element City, where fire, water, land and air live together in harmony, deals with themes like racism and differences between cultures. Lake's got they-them pronouns and is usually seen with their girlfriend. Non-binary actor Ava Kai Hauser provided the character's voice. Hi there. Let's continue our series on LGBTQ+ firsts. Later, the first bisexual superhero in the Marvel comic universe. But we'll kick off with the first out non-binary mayor in the world. Owen Hurcomb took on the role in Bangor in Wales at the age of 23, remaining in office for a year till May 2022. Owen was the country's youngest ever mayor as well. He came out in 2019 and told DW authenticity was the only option.
I knew I had to live as my true self. I couldn't hide it anymore. It was painful to just not. You know, some people are men, some people are women, other people are neither. I'm one of the people that's neither.
Owen stepped down to renovate a houseboat they planned to live in after struggling to get on the property ladder. Spain's first LGBTQ+ monument was erected in 2006. The inverted pink triangles in Sitges, southwest of Barcelona, the scene of anti-queer policing and violence 10 years earlier. An inscription on the monument reads, "Sitges against homophobia, never again." And Valkyrie is the first bisexual superhero in the Marvel comic universe. She made her first appearance in the film Thor Ragnarok in 2019, although a scene that would have confirmed her sexuality was cut, supposedly because it was a distraction, but it is nailed down in the next movie. The character's played by Tessa Thompson, who's bisexual herself. We're also on your smart speaker. Suggest to it in the strongest terms it should play the latest Pride Daily. I'm Kev McGrath. See you Monday.